Latisha has been getting a ton of attention recently, and none of it is good. She was getting a lot of attention because she made her local news after they decided to cover Colleen's story where she alleged Latisha did not follow through with the services that she paid her for, and they covered her other theft when she allegedly stole someone's tax money. And they ended up talking about it, and of course Latisha, like always, claims it's all cap and claims she's going to sue the news station. And I'll cover that more in a separate video, but I want to talk about a recent situation that somebody has been talking about where they claim that Latisha and her husband Keith did not pay their dinner bill. So she goes, story time. So last Friday, I returned back to work at the 5-star restaurant. I won't put the name for various reasons, but most of y'all know exactly where. As you all know, I just had a ACL surgery a few months ago, so I'm still learning how to walk and whatnot. Well, a party of 12 came into my job and complained that there's supposed to be 20 instead. Fast forward, we accommodated them, even though we no longer do parties that size without a minimum of $1,500, which they weren't even close to that. Anywho, this party ran me down. Did not tip me barely enough to tip out my bartenders and the busser, so I made nothing off the party. But what really got me was the girl Latisha, the boss tax lady chick, had the audacity for her and her man to spend $180.80 on food, which if you know my job, you know that's nothing. They paid by tap, and from what I'm told, they had a prepaid card on it because we couldn't close their checkout. It kept declining as I was trying to put the $15 tip in, so I even tried to just close it for the $180.80, and it declined again. So I had to get my manager back up there to help figure it out. Long story short, it's a federal facility. Of course, the security and police had to get involved because this now became an investigation. You can't card swipe a restaurant in a casino and the payment not go through and think it's ever going to be okay. And on my first night back to work, I was so upset. My knee was on fire. I could barely walk after they ran me down so bad. I had to stay almost 2 hours after work being questioned about the incident and clearing my name. I'm the only black server up there. And yes, this party was all African American, which looks extremely bad on my part. We already paid for like 3 of their meals since they kept complaining about my boss not having a place for 20 people. We usually don't even accommodate that. And now this? That's insane because their check for 20 people was only $800 and every check was split. This is just sad for real. Our own people really try and take advantage of us and put my job on the line is insane. It was my official day back to work, and of course, I told the people her name, and of course they immediately started looking at every single car that came in and looking at license plates. I don't know what they're gonna do. I just know the police are involved and my name is cleared. I don't know them and I was not helping them steal in no way. And yes, I have receipts. As I tried to close her card out a few times, every single one declined. Y'all watch out for her and her man. They most definitely getting over on the entire QC. She gonna be the reason he gets locked back up out here playing games like Ish is Sweet. I gave them excellent service. I made sure their every need was fulfilled. So to leave with nothing was insane. My manager is currently trying to compensate me for this major loss. And of course she came with the receipt. She shared the receipt of their order where it got declined. You can see that they bought a Hennessy, open liquor, some other liquor, a seafood pasta, a steak, and right here it shows on March 7th at 10:35 p.m. the transaction was declined. They did leave a $15 tip, but she wasn't able to get the tip or the money for the order because it declined. Even if the order did go through, putting a $15 tip on a $180 order when you had that big of a party, that is ridiculous and so out of pocket, especially when you are at a 5-star restaurant. So the girl shared a receipt that showed that the casino had to pretty much comp the order and pay for it themselves because the card kept declining. Latisha ended up clapping back and responding, and she said, "This is a flat out lie. $180, please. We spent over $400 in the restaurant. You charged me $180 on Friday, and it's paid. Then on Monday, you tried to charge me 3 different times, 2 times for the same amount that was already paid, and $195 for an amount that's not mine." Yeah, they had to do that multiple times because your card kept declining. She said, "I called Ruthie's on Monday and left a message to get clarification on what was going on. Thank God my bank flagged the additional transactions. You could have simply messaged me to clear this up, as I clearly reached out to your employers and not the employee. You clearly know who we are now, and I hope you lose your job for this recklessness. I just filed 2 lawsuits this morning. Don't be next. Check the comment." So pay attention to these next few receipts. Right here it shows they ate on Friday, March 7th, and they tried to ring Latisha up at 10:16 p.m. Latisha shared this CASHAPP pending charge for $180.80 for the casino. But then she shared her transactions from her CASHAPP card, it appears, and you can see at this steakhouse all 3 transactions were declined. And I think this is Latisha's attempt at hoping that somebody will just look at this real quick and see that there was one, or that there were some charges, and not see the decline part and think, oh, she paid for it. But what I want to actually see is the transaction going through and being taken out of the bank account. Because yes, there's a $180 charge you showed that was pending, but from your statement, it looks like it was declined. So I talked to one of my good friends who's a server and showed her all this, and I was like, okay, so what are your thoughts? Do you think that this receipt that she's showing is one that she actually paid for? And she pointed out, which I'm just now noticing here, that this check was started at 10:16 p.m., but the transaction was not done till 10:35 p.m. So when Latisha is showing the $180.80 at 10:16 and it's pending, that's them putting her card on a tab, but they had not actually put the transaction through until 10:36. So they just put the card on file at first, and it wasn't until 20 minutes later, when they're already long gone, that she realized that there was no money on the card that she had given them. Which honestly, that makes a lot of sense. Then she ended up responding, and Latisha saying, "Trying to troll me and lying just to get fired is crazy." And she said, "And for you dumbasses entertaining Colleen and her sick story, check the court filings and lawsuits I have against her. That's the truth. And KWQC, I warned you. Now pay me, bitch. You should have done your due diligence. I've already filed 2 lawsuits this morning." And I think that's just a common scare tactic. I mean, it's the news. The news does not talk about anything unless they can prove it. And they sat there and they brought all the receipts. Just because you file a lawsuit on someone does not mean that what you're saying is correct. Plus, why is Latisha even trying to pay for the bill and getting her card declined? If you're with your husband, he should be paying for it. I just think that he's not doing as good as she likes to portray to everybody he is. Then she shared, "Tisha this, Yashi that, oh girl, did you see QCT? Chill Vibes charging $20, LA Finca still got roaches." Then she said, "I'll never let a bitch that walk like the penguin serve me ever again." Which, that's just disgusting to say when this girl literally just had surgery. But I mean, that doesn't surprise me, knowing when you victimize Colleen, knowing she has a daughter dying from cancer. It kind of shows that you really have no morals whatsoever. So the girl responded. The server said, "I can't address or comment on nothing stating the name of the establishment, and the old me would be reading the dusties for filth. I'm changed though, but my people ain't, and y'all still lying about everything. I don't argue with men, especially felons. I'm a whole woman out here, a lady with a clean background, if you will." And I wonder if she's talking about Keith, since she's talking about not arguing with men who are felons. Latisha has been trending on Facebook ever since that news story came out Wednesday night, and I am going to make a video reacting to that video. I'm going to do that in a separate video coming up in the next day or 2. But after the video came out, some people were reacting in a local Facebook group. That's a Facebook group of people in the same city as Latisha, and a lot of people people. I did not see one good comment about Latisha in this group. And this is not a group that's like Love After Lockup affiliated, like people who have seen the show and know her background. These are people that just live in the town and have heard about her, have experienced her, and who do not like her at all. One person said, if you're still going to Latisha for tax services, after all this real evidence with receipts has come out and worse, defending her, you're complicit. There are only two reasons someone would still be using her. A, you're knowingly paying her higher fees because she manipulates your taxes to get you more than you're legally owed. And B, you lack basic reading and comprehension skills. I don't care if she's done taxes for 200 people without stealing. If she's stolen once, she'll do it again. Period. Anyone saying, well, she's done mine and everything's been fine sounds ridiculous. That's like saying, well, he didn't touch my kid, so it doesn't matter, which that is a very good point. Then she said, what would anyone gain from coming forward and saying she stole from them? Nothing. She's broke and has nothing to give back. The only reason to speak out is to warn others. Latisha knows that people don't think she's honest, and that's why she constantly tries to attack other people's character and makes up lies and tries to tarnish their reputation, because she thinks that she makes everyone else look crazy and makes them look bad, then when they speak their truth, nobody's gonna believe them. But everybody already knows better, and if you have someone speaking out against you every other week, then I think you might be the problem. Then someone said, I own a couple businesses in town. I can't begin to count how many checks she has bounced. If you own a business, do not accept a check from her. She is a scam artist, and she is on TV, loved during Lockup. I checked the server's Facebook, and she posted on her story responding to Latisha. She said, post the paid for receipt from last week with the date and time that the transaction went through, and I'll take it down and apologize. I'll wait. As of Tuesday, the bills were still not covered, and I will not be responsible for them. Then she said, fun fact, when you lie, you gotta start believing it because no one else will. And she shows that at 11:11 p.m., she had to comp the check. And it shows that taxes can't be applied when a check is comped. That's why it's $171 instead of the original $180.80 cost. So that just debunks everything that Latisha has been claiming. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. I will cover the news story that recently came out in a separate video. But let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.